Hello, I'm Karen Patterson. You're really welcome. Just to let you know who's here and on this farm just outside Bangor. Joseph H. Patterson was my grandfather. He had 2 sons and a daughter. The 2 sons were my father, Aubrey Patterson, his brother John and his sister Harriet. Aubrey Patterson established the Ballycrochan Herd. We've been here since 1947, breeding British Friesians and now Holstein Friesian cattle. We're the oldest Holstein Friesian herd in Northern Ireland, so it's a bit of a pedigree. So let's take you guys in for a quick look around at what we've been doing over the last couple of years. It's been really busy. We had to decide whether or not to put in a brand new milking parlour. Huge expense, of course, and a massive change in the way we do things. We're an old farm. Could we embrace the modern technology that comes with a new parlour? Come and have a look. Well, this is the original parlour. She's over 50 years old and, as everybody has told me, doesn't owe the family a penny. She worked really hard and managed to keep going until we built the new parlour. And while you think it was a massive decision for all of us, my mother's been an amazing supporter of getting this done, to invest in a new parlour, it really wasn't a decision, because this one was about to lie down. So then the question was, who do we go with? This has all been a bit of a sentimental journey for us in a way. Lots of things all came together. Pearson was a new name. I wasn't very knowledgeable about it at all. But Angus McKee, our agent, has been with the family for a lifetime. In fact, it was he as a little boy who fitted this parlour with his father over 40 years ago. So how lovely to have that full circle, that it was he and his son Hamish who fitted the brand new one. Let's take you in and see what an amazing job they've done. So this is the brand new parlour and we absolutely love it. It's light, it's bright, it's airy. It's become the hub of the farm. In the old parlour, nobody wanted to be in it anymore. There were bits falling off, the cows were cramped, they were uncomfortable, they were frightened, they were slipping on old galvanised plate flooring. And here it's like a palace. They just are so much happier and it shows. The process essentially was, we were working on the footprint of an old straw barn. So we were limited in what size, width, length the barn could be. And what we settled on was a 14-a-side double-up parlour, 90-degree turn with a baling system. It was light years beyond what we've just come out of. But the guiding principle always was cow comfort, cow welfare and flow. Everybody advised me that if you put in a brand new milking parlour, if you don't get the flow right at the head of the parlour, they gather up, they double back, you'll never get the pace through, which is about trying to speed up your milking time, because milking time is money because you're paying staff to milk and work with you, but it's also time that the animals aren't eating or sleeping when they're producing milk. So you want to limit the amount of time they're in the parlour and make it as simple as possible. I'll be honest, the first milking took 4 hours and a great big guy with a big shoulder to shove them in. But now they love it. You literally open the gate, they trot in and they're just happy to be fed. And then you have a whole new world of data and you know your cows better than you think you ever knew your cows. So I guess that would have been the criteria we needed. We knew we needed to address comfort for people and for animals, and we needed flow, we needed to reduce the milking time. So once you've in your head what your requirements are, how do you deliver on that? I had no idea I would ever be involved in the design process of a milking parlour. So who do you bring around you? And again, all I can say is Pearson had that wraparound care and that attention to detail that gives you the confidence you need to take the next step. So the initial process was a phone call. A visit was set up very quickly to 3 farms in and around the Carlow area. The farms we visited, mostly, to be fair, were swing-over parlours, but we wanted the double up. But we were able to get to the factory as well and see the quality of what was made. Once we decided to go ahead, Dave Pearson came up to the farm, sat, discussed everything with us, saw the site, saw what our ambition was for the place, and then the technical drawings started to come through. Those technical drawings were led by Angus and his son Hamish here, who worked very, very closely with our builder, Cathal McGrady, and it was a new thing for Cathal, so it was a great effort by everybody for Cathal to take on putting in a new parlour. So there was nerves, but there was a real sense of let's make something really special here, and everybody knocked it out of the park. I had a different career for 30 years before I came back home, so I wasn't as involved in the dairy end of the farm, more calves, milk vending, that kind of thing. A lot of this was really new to me, so it's been amazing to work out how to use it and to realise how simple it is. It's really intuitive. All of the buttons make it straightforward. A knife and fork is your feed to yield system, so you can very, very easily press that button, press it again, and then it'll give you how many kilos you want to feed for each animal. So say you've got a young heifer coming in, she's a wee bit spooky in the parlour. As soon as she hears the trickle of the nuts, you just put in half a kilo or a kilo, and that will feed her through. On the top row here you will have how much milk's being produced. This is the cow's number, so each cow has a collar with a transponder. Her identification, when she is to be on heat in season. It also gives you ruminant detection, which is invaluable for any stomach upsets you might have because they're so sensitive to dietary change. You've got your up and down button for lifting and closing your baling. You've a fabulous drafting gate, which who knew how reliant we would become on this drafting gate. So if the foot trimmer's coming, you can pick out 20 cows and they're standing waiting for him. If the AI man's calling to the farm, he can pick out 3 or 4, whatever it might be. They're standing waiting for him. It just speeds everything up, which frees you up to get on with the business of looking after the animals. So again, the welfare is addressed in a way that perhaps it was hampered because you were physically stuck in the parlour. As someone said to me, some of the best cows you have in your herd, you won't even know until you start getting the data through. They're the ones that don't go lame, they're the ones that cause you no bother, and yet they put milk in the tank. It's lovely to be able to get familiar with those animals that would have been pretty anonymous before, and that really drives your breeding programme then. Already we've noticed a massive difference in our feed bill. You know, different people in the parlour at different stages would have had favourites, so they got an extra chug of nuts, or she's doing well, we'll give her another one, or she seems a good wee cow, we'll give her another one. Suddenly you realise you're really overfeeding these animals. And what we're finding now is those animals perform just as well with considerably less ration. We're also then tailoring the feed to put more at the feed gate than in the parlour. Again, you're getting more roughage in, you're avoiding ketosis, other issues you might have by putting too much cake through the parlour. So it has fed through the whole feeding system here. We've reduced rumination problems dramatically in this last year, and our feed bill has plummeted, and that's massive. The whole parlour is driven by computers, so when we come in the morning there's lots of information already stored. Should an animal have a bad stomach, should she be in heat, we can organise AI, whatever. So let's go and have a wee look at what's inside that computer and how helpful it can be.
Never used the Pearson system. This was sort of threw in at the deep end, but very, very easy to pick up straight away what you were needing to do. It's very user friendly. You can sort of tailor it to yourself, what you want. And the more data you input on the system, the more data it'll give you back. So whenever something happens, if you've got a cow that you've mastitis and you've tubed her, input it straight onto the system after milking, and whenever you come in to the parlour the next morning for milking, no matter what you do, you won't be able to put that cow into the tank.
Having that facility to essentially dump milk is critical, especially with the milk vending and selling milk direct to the public. If you go into the parlour, one of those little pads by the parlour will have a cross against it. You physically can't take the cluster down and milk that animal by mistake. So there's lots of checks and balances in here to keep you right. Even the tank has the lever at the front that you can't begin the wash unless the lever's set the right way. So they've thought really instinctively to prevent problems arising. I suppose one of the things that encouraged us to go ahead with the parlour was a couple of years before that decision, we had another decision to make. How do we put a bottom in the farm? How do we sustain it going forward? How do we adapt? How do we make ourselves more relevant to today's modern consumer and yet be a bit retro? We went glass bottles, fresh milk, and they love it. So that's what's really helped us plan for the future. Well, I hope you've enjoyed a bit of a look around here today. There's been lots of really, really big decisions to make, whether it was milk vending, whether it's putting in a new parlour or not. And a lot of it comes back to the team and the support of the people that you have around you. Get good ones in place. We had a great builder. The agent for the Pearson Parlour is exceptional, a guy called Angus McKee based at Mummy Ray. And the people from Pearson's couldn't have been better. They knew it was a big decision and a frightening one to take, but it has transformed our farm, and if you need that guidance, help, support and quality you can trust, go for Pearson.
We're searching for some answers.